Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The rain tapped gently against the cafe window, a soft rhythm that seemed to echo the storm brewing in Paul Sinha's heart. He sat alone at a corner table, fingers wrapped around a warm cup of tea, staring blankly at the steam rising like fragile memories. Today was the day he had dreaded for months, the day he would say goodbye. Paul had always been the life of the room, the one whose laughter could fill the emptiest spaces. On television, he was the witty quizmaster, the sharp mind behind endless clever questions, always ready with a joke to brighten someone's day. But behind the microphone and the camera, Paul had a quiet side that few ever saw, a side that loved deeply, fiercely, and sometimes painfully. The cafe door opened, and a familiar silhouette appeared. Sophie. Her hair glistened from the rain, and her eyes, those same eyes that had held his heart for years, looked weary. She approached, hesitant, as if she could already feel the weight of the words about to be spoken. "Paul," she whispered, sliding into the chair opposite him. He smiled, a small, broken thing, and reached across the table to take her hand. It was colder than he expected. "Sophie, I wish this wasn't necessary," he murmured. Sophie shook her head, tears brimming. "I know, Paul, I know." For a long moment, they just sat there, the world outside continuing without them. Cars splashed through puddles, umbrellas bobbed past, and yet inside the cafe, time seemed to have paused, holding its breath for this farewell. Paul's voice trembled when he finally spoke. "You've been my light, Sophie. You've made the dark days bright, the impossible seem possible, and I can't imagine my life without you. But," he paused, swallowing hard, "life has a way of throwing us into paths we never wanted to take." Sophie squeezed his hand, her own trembling. "I know, Paul, and I'll never forget what we had. You've given me more joy than I could ever put into words." The rain outside grew heavier, drumming a sorrowful accompaniment to their words. Paul took a deep breath, trying to summon the strength to finish what his heart refused to say. "I'm leaving the show, leaving the city, everything. I need to find myself again, away from the noise, away from the expectations." Sophie's eyes widened. "Away from me?" she asked, her words breaking through her calm facade. He shook his head violently. "Never from you, Sophie. You're part of me, always. But sometimes love isn't enough to keep us anchored when the world is pulling us in different directions." Tears slid down her cheeks, and he leaned forward, resting his forehead against hers. They stayed like that for what felt like an eternity, clinging to the warmth they had shared, knowing that soon it would be gone. "I'll wait for you," she whispered. "I don't want you to wait," Paul replied softly, voice thick with emotion. "I want you to live, to be happy, even if it's not with me. Just promise me you'll smile every day, Sophie. Promise me that." She nodded, though her tears fell freely now. "I promise." And with that, they stood. He hugged her tightly, memorizing the weight of her arms around him, the scent of her hair, the rhythm of her heartbeat. Then slowly, painfully, he let go. As he walked out into the rain, the city blurred around him. Each step felt like a lifetime, each breath heavier than the last. He knew this was goodbye. Not forever, perhaps, but for now, it was the hardest thing he had ever done. And somewhere, amidst the storm, Sophie watched him disappear, clutching the memory of Paul Sinha's love like a fragile ember that would keep her warm in the nights ahead. Because some goodbyes aren't just endings. They are proof of love so deep, so real, that it leaves an imprint long after the person has gone.